Hey there, my name is Pravus and welcome back to more Hearts of Iron 4! This is gonna be lit! Playing as, now, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Obviously starting off as small little Lithuania, but it took us about 2 years to get to this point, and our economy has gotten so much larger than anything I would have been able to build within those 2 years as our tiny little Lithuanian nation. Even if I had conquered Latvia and Estonia, our economy wouldn't be this good. And I would have had a heck of a time beating down Poland. So this is one of the reasons I think the non-aligned route that we've taken is decent, if not the best. I don't know. I mean, I think it's always a little bit debatable as to what's going to be the best, but regardless, you get the idea. So now we are working on rejoining the railways, which is then going to lead into modernizing our industry so we can get rid of the agrarian society. That gets me consumer goods, it gets me manpower back, it gets me factory output, and it gets me 4 more civilian factories, which is awesome. Again, the reason we did this now instead of earlier and bypassed something else, like, I don't know, let's say Royal Reform or something, we would have gotten only 4 infrastructure, now we're getting 21. I think it's debatable whether infrastructure is even worth waiting for, but I mean, technically speaking, you get more supply, you're gonna get more resources, and it does increase construction speed a little bit. So in 21 states, we're gonna get a small boost. And I still feel like the order that we took our other political national focuses is at least decent, so I don't think it was a bad decision to make. All right, now we've got a lot more factories to work with, and this is where things get a little bit tricky, because we obviously need to produce some guns. I need fighters and casks. I do need towed artillery. I need support equipment. We'll probably want to get at least some trains producing. I could start making towed anti-air, but I don't think we're going to need that for a bit longer. The Soviet Union will probably attack me around 1940. I'll need some eventually, but I feel like if there's anything I need right now, it's really just going to be basic guns to supply my armies and then lots of fighters and casks. We aren't lacking in anything anymore. That's certainly one good thing we've got going for us. Extra trucks wouldn't be a bad idea just for logistics. I'll get some extra artillery going, and then yeah, let's put 1 extra of each factory into fighter and into close air support. Okay, now I need, unfortunately, more resources, and this is one downside to going for something like the free trade economic policy, because now we're exporting a lot of resources and I'm gonna have to start bringing some in. I'm gonna try not to trade with the Soviets if possible, only because why give them a little bit of extra economic power if we can avoid it. The big problem is I really need to be getting a bit more aluminum so I can keep up with some of these fighters. What does that leave me in terms of factories for construction? Only 8. Not a lot, but again, getting some of that consumer goods down and getting the 4 extra factories helps a little bit, so I still think that that's going to end up being the right decision to make. So we'll try for some of that. We will be going to war against Latvia and Estonia at some point in the near future. Have both of them taken the modernizer industry, or is it just one of them? It looks like it was both, so at least I know that each one is going to have another 4 civilian factories on top of whatever else they were going to do. So that's not the worst thing. Gimli, I swear to God, boy. Oh, actually, by going down to Marshal Prime Minister, you could have gotten partial mobilization basically for free. Huh. Well, that's kind of fun. Anyways, you all right, so let's just sort of sit back for a little bit and wait. We are going to be doing pretty much nothing for a little while. Could start building up something with dockyards. I guess I wouldn't mind getting some convoys built up in case we need them. And that's actually all I'm able to do. I'm not going to spend most of these. Why? Because I don't need a navy, at least at this stage of the game. Convoys are only so useful, and I'm already low on steel. I'd rather just have less convoys and save a civilian factory for at least a little bit longer and not even worry about it. Are we sure there's nothing else I could do here? I guess we can go for the captain of industry. Sure, let's go ahead and pick this guy up now. Build up some of that civilian construction speed just a teeny little bit. All of a sudden, we're now up to 10 civilian factories. I'm guessing the rest is going to be from some various different forms of trade. Yeah, looks like we are exporting a little bit of aluminum as well as some oil, which is kind of interesting because I didn't even know I had oil. Oh, Poland had oil. Well, hello. All right, we've rejoined the railways. Now we are going to go for modernize our industry, which is going to get me that extra factory up and running. And if we take a look over here at construction, yeah, most of the country has now gone up to 80% infrastructure. That's gonna help. Tiny little bit, but it's gonna help. In the meantime, we are finishing up some of our improved infantry equipment. We could start getting ahead of time in infantry equipment level 2, and I guess I will, only because the faster you can start producing this and getting your efficiency up, the better your stats are going to be. And I'll need this before the Soviets do end up attacking, so that'll be helpful. We could go for a land doctrine at this point, and I'm thinking the superior firepower is probably the obvious choice. Extra soft attack just means more casualties for the enemy, so they break faster. Yeah, all of this could still be good. Even if I don't plan on taking advantage of many tanks, I do want to have probably mechanized or something, I don't know, maybe just shock and awe for better infantry and artillery, plus I plan on going for air support. So this makes a lot of sense. Mobile warfare, if I really wanted to commit to the mechanized, I'd say maybe, but almost all of my fuel is going to end up going to my air power instead. So yeah, no, I think it makes a lot more sense to go for that. Although in hindsight, I could have waited until I had a military theorist and saved myself just a little bit more of that army experience. Oops, should have done that and waited a couple more days. Oh well. We are making 0.38 per day. That's not too bad at this stage of the game. It does help that we have competent military national focus adding on an extra 0.10. Alright, that's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's go ahead and pick up that theorist now before I forget him again. There we go. So that's all taken care of. We got the breakthrough weapons there. Additional support companies. Recon's an option. I do like going for logistics. We're already getting the engineers. I'm not going to even touch tanks. Let's instead start working toward artillery level 2 because the sooner we can get that sucker upgraded, probably the better, just like with the infantry weapon. I'm willing to go a little bit ahead of time if it gets me my better bread and butter guns upgraded a little bit faster, because infantry is kind of all I'm going to have. Also, I kind of forgot we wanted to rearrange some of these troops, so let's go ahead and do some of that. Take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Move them over here. That was actually 10, sorry. Move them here, boom, okay. So we're gonna have a couple of little armies like so. We need some generals, of course. I think we got all the Polish generals as well, which is awesome. Max entrenchment's gonna be really good on defensive armies. I love that. Sanitation leaders, I think that's a Poland thing. I don't think I have anything to worry about that. Yeah, veteran anti-Bolshevik. We don't care about any of that nonsense. So, okay. What are your stats again? 3, 2, 1, 3. You know what? I'm going to swap you out for this defensive person. I'm going to put the entrenchment person over here, and then you can get someone a little bit smaller and less important. How about you? These guys should do fine, and we'll set them up on the borders of Latvia, because that is where I'm going to be attacking next as soon as I have finished modernizing our economy. Just like so. The boy's been getting a lot more vocal as of late. I'm sure you guys can hear him over there. He gets a little annoying, if I'm honest, but all right. Anyway, claim Livonia, gets cores on all the Latvian and Estonian estates, and we annex these war goals. So this seems pretty solid. We'll go ahead and start working on that. I think they're war goals, not necessarily... No, we don't have to justify anymore at that point. We just get to declare war outright, right? Maybe? I don't remember for sure. Anyway, all right, so civilian economy, we have more civilian factories now. Let's go ahead and boost these up just a little bit more, but not too many. After that, I think we just go ahead and focus on even more of our military factories, but not building anything in Memel now that I think about it, because there's a very... Oh, we have 2 factories over here anyway. Well, I think I built there and I shouldn't have. Oops, I made the Germans a little bit stronger. Yeah, we're probably going to be giving Memel to the Germans when they demand it. So yeah, me building 2 factories here was a bit of a goof on my part in the first episode. But oh well, mistakes do happen on rare occasion. And I mean rare. So we're up to what, 17 civilian factories now? It's okay, it's certainly better than what I had before, absolutely. We basically just doubled our industrial production with that one focus over there. One fun little thing you can get here is the Forest Brothers, which gives you extra attack and defense on core territory. Including, by the way, where we're about to attack, because we get cores on Estonian and Latvian states. So this would count for that. I don't need the help, but it's a thing we could do. What gets really crazy is if you continue down this route over here on the monarchist side, East Prussia is a place where we would get cores, in Königsberg and Ermland-Masseren, however you say that. We could get claims for Greater Lithuania, but I don't care as much about that. Then you proclaim Greater Commonwealth, and you get another 67 cores. All of those count, I believe, for the Forest Brothers. So you could pick this up, and all of a sudden, a huge portion of land if we can conquer, I think it's mostly in the Soviet Union, gets a really nice attack and defense modifier. Something we may want to consider at some point in the future. I'm not going to get too worried about it, but it is a thing we could do. Anything else here that jumps out to me as something I really want? We don't need, oh, there's the demands from Emil. We have to accept, goodbye. And just like that, now the Germans are going to leave us alone. They don't care about us anymore. They're going to go declare their world war, but they don't care. We did this before. Remember a long time ago, we actually played Poland Strong. We did our own series on just a Poland playthrough. We did the same thing. We ended up giving up Memel to the Germans, and then focused everything we had on taking out the Soviets. And by beating them, then we were able to go take out the Germans. I plan on resurrecting the same basic strategy. We bypassed East Prussia. That's interesting. Okay. Anyway, I plan on breaking out basically the exact same strategy here. And we're going to basically give land up. We already did this for the Germans. And now we're going to focus everything we've got on defending against the Soviets, who are probably going to attack in about a year-ish. We want to go for anything else that helps us build up more of our economy and our defenses. Let's go ahead and develop some natural resources over here, which gets the agrarian society reduced even further. Actually, I thought it was already gone. I'm wrong? No, it's gone. Huh. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Oh, did we reduce it by half? Maybe not. I don't know, this almost seems like agrarian society turns around and becomes a net positive. I'm looking at that consumer goods of -4, and I'm seeing right now we've got a -1. Does this mean that we're gonna go down to -5, plus we're gonna get all the recruitable population and factory output stuff gone? Agrarian society might be about to become a plus. Huh. Anyway, hey, Latvia, how you doing there? We're gonna go ahead and declare a little war on you. Oops, I meant to stop training up my units, and let's go ahead and launch an immediate attack. I haven't gotten rid of the cavalry yet, but the main reason I haven't done so is because I fully expect that we're just gonna go ahead and make our immediate push. Going off in this direction, you guys are gonna push up over here. I just wanna get the victory points and start pushing all the way up here to Estonia. This should be really quick. Again, I've got some cavalry, so we can move over into places like Riga really fast. Should not take very long at all, or they're just gonna get stuck because they're slow when it's winter, I guess. I don't know. Whatever, these guys are gonna fall apart pretty darn quick. Shouldn't have a lot to worry about. We're gonna try to go over here and help out over with this. Cavalry, go up over here, please. There we go, just take Riga. Everything we got here on Riga. Okay, hang on. Planes, surprisingly, I don't have air superiority. Maybe it's the range. Let's get closer. I've got close air support and I've got air superiority all supposed to be going on here. I think it's because it's nighttime. Give it a minute and we're probably about to get that air superiority going. Or not. Huh, weird. We are getting absolutely nothing in terms of air superiority, and I'm not sure I really understand how that's possible. They've got air superiority. Seems a little bit weird, no? Yeah, okay. More casts, more fighters. We need all of those things, all of them. Let's go ahead and start working on that artillery. It's now 1939, so it's not even an ahead of time penalty. And you guys are going to move forward over here. Then these guys are moving over to take the... Okay, there's the war against Belgium. So actually, the war against the Low Countries and World War II just began. Seems a little early, but all right. Anyway, we're having a hard time, apparently, fighting over here in Riga because of the river crossing. Let's see if we can send some cavalry, plus a couple infantry, pin you down, get up over here. We'll just try to flank them from multiple directions, take out Riga a little bit faster. This is already taking longer than it was supposed to. I'm kind of surprised it's taking this long at all. Riga, come on. Just go ahead and fall already. For God's sake, you shouldn't have much left here. That organization's slowly going down. I mean, I know that our military is not exactly great. I didn't think it was this bad. Let's get some extra organization. That's gonna help make them a smidge better. And then I'm gonna save up the rest of my army experience because I plan on tossing some extra artillery and stuff onto a few armies and making these guys just a smidge better. There's Riga, these guys are gonna fall, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and take all states. Or we're gonna have to do this whole pass nonsense. Hang on, end turn, pass, take all states, goodbye. Okay, that's done. Then we reorganize our forces up over here and once again go for an offensive line. Something like this is ultimately what I'm shooting for and will not take very long to accomplish. We have an extra factory or two to work with. I need some extra infantry equipment and artillery, I believe. Now let's take a look at some of our divisions. So the Royal Guards are okay. What would be cheaper at this point? I think it would be cheaper to start with the Royal Guard template and then swap out all of my infantry. I can get rid of this infantry, unless I want to keep that for, like, let's say, garrisons. That's not the worst idea in the world. What's this? Yeah, this has recon, but I don't care that much. Let's change their icon to be something else so it's easy to recognize from the Polish troops. And we don't have any of these guys, and I don't plan on keeping them, and I don't plan on keeping this. Okay. So Royal Guard Division, we're going to go ahead and swap this sucker out. This is going to be my 21 width infantry. Oh my god, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. And we're going to swap you out for an infantry and add on, I want to add on support artillery, but I can't at the moment, so let's go ahead and save this template. I'm going to change you to be something else so it's easy to spot, and there we go. And you don't need to be elite, so you can be regular, simple infantry. That'll be fine. Okay, once we're done with all this, I'll swap some more stuff out. I do plan on having, I think, some 24 widths as well, which are going to be making use of lots more artillery, so we have some offensive divisions available too. Troops are getting into position. I say we go ahead and declare the war now. Boop, everyone go, and this, again, should be really, really easy as long as everyone is focus firing. Netherlands is gone. All right. Once again, I have no air superiority. I honestly don't think I understand how that's happening. We're supposed to have close air support over here too, but nothing is happening. Huh. Huh. Our air detection is non-existent. That might be part of the issue. Anyway, infantry equipment can get a bit of a buff. Nice. We can go for some more technology. 1939, I'd like to go ahead and boost up construction probably next. You guys go ahead and make an immediate push to their capital. You go pick up this victory point over Myan. And we're looking to exploit any vulnerabilities in their line to just push over and grab a couple more of these victory points, and that should be all we need to finish them all off. Why have you guys not gone over here? You decided to fight instead of just running up over into the capital. Go figure. Anyway, all right, so that's going to be taken care of, and they should capitulate in just a moment. Grab Tartu as well, and that's Belgium. Sorry, not my stuff. Luxembourg joins. Zog submits. Can someone please get over here? Oh, for God's sake, this shouldn't be. There we go. All right. I'm gonna pass, and take all states, and we're done. Okay, and with that taken care of, now we want to start training up some more troops. So 21 width. We've got enough army experience. Let's toss on the support artillery, and I'm gonna start training as many of these as I can. At least in full army groups, as much as we can. You guys... Honestly, I kind of feel like everyone except for the Royal Guards, we can go ahead and easily swap over. I'm not sure we have enough equipment for it, but we're gonna try. But I definitely don't want to keep that cavalry. That's simply not gonna be worth it. Yeah, we don't have enough support equipment. Probably fine anyway. We're gonna do the same thing over here. 21 with infantry, boom, okay. So the next thing I need then, and I know now, is to start producing a lot more artillery and support equipment. That is fine. Let's go ahead and boost this sucker up. Means I need a lot more steel. And a couple more on artillery, and then another here, and boom. All right, and then we gotta go do some trading. Yay, Sweden, we're buds for now, yeah? Yeah. Hungary, what about you? We're friends. Yes. There we go. Modify government? Not sure yet. We're about to get the whole natural resources taken care of. I could have gone for a chief of army. Division defense would be very smart. Training time would mean I can get a lot more troops out before the Soviets attack, but I think we're gonna go for the defense. Yeah, we can pick you up. Still no advisors I feel like I'm gonna need here. I'm gonna go for industrial concern so that we can speed up our industrial research like construction. And then everything else gets sat right here on the Soviet border. Nothing else is gonna matter. All right, natural resources, agrarian society. It got rid of all the nastiness as far as factory output and recruitable population, and it's translated into just straight out consumer goods reduction. I like that. That feels pretty darn good. All right, so what did I write down I want to do next? I think I said that I want to expand the military budget. I can't. What do we need for this one? Requires all the following. Royal Reform, Marshal Prime Minister, cannot have this. Oh, we can't do this one. Oh, never mind. I read this and I thought, oh, we could probably pick this one up. That would be really helpful. I would have loved the recruitable population factor and stuff, but no. No, sorry, that is down a different route. So forget that one, skip it, move on to what? We could continue focusing on our economy. Baltic School of Aviation. This will let me get a couple of research bonuses for aircraft, and we're not at 1940 yet, but that kind of functions almost like getting a year ahead of time bonus. I'd like to go ahead and pick that up so I can upgrade my fighters as soon as possible and start going for some fighter 2s. I feel like that's going to end up being important. Beyond that, let's see. Artillery still lacking, support equipment still lacking. I do want to train up some more troops if possible. I think we need to train up some of these guys over here. How many do I want? 15 is the answer. I'm not going to have enough equipment for any of it, but the idea is I want to have full armies of defensive troops, if at all possible. These guys need to get swapped over as well, which, once again, I don't have enough equipment for. Yeah, that's a little bit painful. We can pull back a bit on the infantry equipment. I mean, I'm getting upgrades, so I don't want to pull back too much, but yeah, let's start focusing instead on getting more artillery. We don't have enough tungsten. -1, -2, it's not going to hurt my efficiency and stuff that much, so I'm going to ignore that for the moment. I do want to stop importing a little bit of steel, because we got too much here. There we go, that saves me one more of these factories. Cities, you know, I think we're kind of at a stage where more civilian factories is good, but doesn't do me an absolute ton. Yeah, I'm gonna finish out these two, then I want to focus on nothing but military factories, because I need a lot more equipment. A lot more equipment if I'm gonna be able to do this. The Germans are declaring war on the Czechs, and they're already fighting against the French. There's the improved artillery. Love that. Anti-air, we'll work on that stuff later. For now, let's go for some extra factory output, and let's go ahead and swap you out. This does mean I lose a lot of efficiency at a really bad time when I'm trying to build out a lot more troops, but it also means I'm gonna have much higher quality infantry and artillery, so take that for whatever it's worth. Royal Guards, if I were to toss on an extra artillery, that's 23 combat width. Was it 23 that I usually go for? I feel like it was 21. I thought I go for 24 most of the time. Is this what I do? I actually don't even remember what I usually do. I think 6-3. Maybe it's 23. Doesn't really matter all that much at the end of the day. I honestly, you know, the conclusion I've come to, there's probably an optimum combat width in the game since no step back. But most of the time, it's not that important. I know that sounds kind of crazy, because, like, min-maxing is a thing that a lot of people love in this game, and you obviously can get objectively better stats in certain cases, but it also, with army experience being as rare and as difficult to come by as it is, I think just getting into a general spot of, like, 20-something and then maybe, like, 30-something is probably good enough, honestly. Probably about as good as you need it to be. All right, let's go ahead and start working on some advanced machine tools next to make sure that we are getting all of this up and running. I've got another 100 political power. Could go for a Chief of Air Force. Air superiority I do like. I think I'll pick this guy up. There's nothing else I can think of that I absolutely need to spend my military power, political power on, except later for maybe something like the war economy. Baltic School of Aviation is going to be great. Czechoslovakia is gone. Fall of Paris, yep, the German Reich is getting stronger. They didn't have to worry about Poland, so they focused everything they had on the West. All right, so that's now taken care of. Now, we could start working on some investments, either from the Axis, which could lead to us getting war economy for free, which I like, or we could go for allied trade, which reduces my consumer goods further and makes the British like me. And then, if we focus down some of this, including things like the Ford industry, we can get cheaper trucks, more factories, and then a freaking ton of fighter cost reductions and better strength and reliability and so on, which I kind of like. We could also have the British license some of their fighters off to me, but if I'm completely honest, I don't think I need to do licensed production with anything, so it's kind of a question of what do I want here. Tank licenses I don't care about. Consumer goods factory reduction of 1, but then I am unable to fight the Germans seems bad. I'm not joining them. This gets me a wow, really? Wait, what? Does this actually get me 30 civilian factories? What? No. No. Kaunas gets 1. 30-something states get a building slot, and then Warsaw gets 1. Yeah, no, I don't care as much about that. So I like war economy, but I kind of think we can get that anyway with my political power because I don't need this much. I think we're going to go down the Allied route. Yeah, let's go ahead and do exactly that. We have other decisions we can take, by the way. For example, I can move my capital to Vilnius, which I just did. The historical, I think, capital of Lithuania. Let's take a look at our railways, though, and make sure that these aren't busted. They seem okay-ish. It seems all right. One thing I'm very worried about is over here, I feel like our supply is going to be meh. I'm a little bit worried about this area. What I would like to do is probably boost up some of our supply hubs on a few key areas around the Soviets. Because I can guarantee you we are going to wish we had that. I feel like I really ought to be getting a supply hub over here as well. Supply hubs, unfortunately, take a long time to build. So that's not going to be great. Let's finish the civilian factory first. We'll try to get some of these railways done. I only have a few more months before these guys might attack me. And I'm not feeling strong enough to deal with the Soviets. Not yet. We've got another factory. I feel like the thing we need right now is still going to be more artillery, so let's focus on more of that. France capitulates. Okay. Getting the renewed allied trade, I mean, that's going to give me a lot more civilian factories so I can roll this out. I mean, we got 40 active civilian factories. That's not bad. And it's about to get a smidge better. We'll probably knock off an extra 3 or 4 more factories once we're done with this with the Allies. So that's kind of all right. And the Soviets are now justifying on me. That feels really early. I'm scared. Soviet Union is influencing our politics, are they? This all went a bit faster than I was expecting, if I'm completely honest with you. But okay. Yeah, they're questioning my sovereignty. The good news is it's going to take a long time to complete. The bad news is I'm pretty sure even before their manual justification is done, they are probably going to have a focus where they can finish up a little bit early. So this is where I really, really need to have more troops trained up, and I'm working on it. We're actually kind of close, but I'm lacking a lot in equipment. So forget upgrades for a minute. Finish training new troops above anything else. These are the top equipment priorities. As more equipment is produced, send it to the front lines with new troops, all right? That's what I want. Anyone else need to be trained up to just become, like, quick regulars? We got a couple of green units and stuff. I should probably just fix that real quick. It won't take too long. I hope. Really hope. Do I usually just do 2 artillery? No, that's not what I do. I don't know what I usually do. Anyway, Denmark joins the Allies. All right, so that's going to be a little annoying because remember, for one of the achievements I want to go for, I need to control all the Baltic coastline. That includes Denmark. So when I eventually have to go toe-to-toe against the Germans, I probably don't want to join the Allies. I want to take all of this and occupy it myself. And then once I occupy the stuff that matters, then I could join the Allies and have them help me. Maybe? There's Norway joining the Allies as well. All right. You guys can group up into one tiny little navy. You're honestly not worth much. We'll get a free little admiral over here. This guy's gonna do very, very little. Hello, here comes some of the troops. Okay, so what are we lacking right now? Support equipment here, and towed artillery. All right, so it looks like support equipment is actually gonna be the big bottleneck here. I'm gonna pull back on trains and trucks and try to roll this out a little faster. Let's import a tiny bit more steel. I am feeling a little apprehensive, I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little nervous, just a little bit. I don't know that we're gonna have enough ready in time. Can I make this? I wanted to set this to the Red Army, but okay. I'm not sure we're gonna have enough in time for when the Soviets attack. It's gonna be dangerous. I mean, at least we're gonna have a handful of planes. But even then, that's not as many as I really want. How many more planes do I have available? I've got another 100 fighters and 100 close air support easily enough. Something. Something. It's not the worst. We probably can't contend with them toe-to-toe for air superiority, but we probably could set ourselves to interception. So let's move our troops over here. See, I need to get 300 fighters there. You guys, yeah. Interception, close air support in Western Poland. You guys, same thing here in the Baltic states. I think that's going to be about as good as I can get it for now until I've got a lot more fighters to work with. Again, it's something. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. All right, August, a little ahead of time to go for that. I think I wanted to go for the fighters, so let's work on that next. I want to go for Fighter 2 and Cast 2 as fast as possible, start pumping those suckers out. I'm going to hold on to some political power because shopping over to a war economy would be kind of nice. There's the renewed allied trade, so the consumer goods is dealt with. I could have them give me an extra 360 planes. It's not the worst idea I've ever had. Even though I don't care about the licensing, an extra 300-something fighters could make a difference. Attract workers, original designs, motor companies, civilian factory, or invest in Baltic trade. Blah, 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 blah. This is where things are getting a little bit different from what I had planned on. State media, corporate economy. We could go for another 5% reduction, but it's going to take a long time to do. We could get a bunch of claims. Railways, Lithuania, a few factories. Integrate the opposition, gain a lot of political power. I don't think I need that. No, none of this does me any good. Military reforms. Here we go. Stability, doctrine cost reduction. Yes. This could be all right. We're going to start going down some military reforms. This is going to get me even more recruitable population factor, plus some stability, and we'll be able to have doctrines a little bit cheaper. We've honestly got a lot of doctrine cost reductions stacking up. I feel pretty great about that. Anyway, so let's see. Still waiting for more of that support equipment. Turkey delivers an investment portfolio. I honestly feel like that's never really worth it. I've never actually gotten any favor out of that, so I'm going to ignore it. Tungsten. We apparently need more because the US is no longer delivering. Anyone else? How about neutral Portugal? Portugal is a bud and will surely deliver for me. I mean, I guess I could trade with Sweden instead, but meh. A couple more factories. Keep going for the support equipment. I still need to be producing as much of this as possible per day so I can field as many troops as possible per day. I might have to just simply force them out even if they're going to be fighting at imperfect strength, just so I can get this out the door. We've almost got another full army ready to go. Doctrines I would get for the extra defense, and 10% more defense is going to be pretty darn helpful, but we'll hold off on that for the moment. We've already got all of these guys. Spirit of Division, Static Warfare. You know, an extra 10% entrenchment, or 10% is not the worst thing I've ever seen. The more entrenchment I have, my goal is basically just to run the Soviets dry. I'm going to hold off on this until I have got the upgrade to the next doctrine, because 10% defense I think is overall probably still going to be better. But that's tempting. We're almost done with another supply hub. That's great. We could try setting up a couple of forts, especially in areas where I know I'm not fighting at very good strength. I mean, that's why we're working on this right here. I do feel like we need to upgrade this railroad. I have a rail... Let me just double check my railroad connections. I want to make sure everything actually makes sense. This needs to be a 3. This needs to be a 3. So keep getting this all out the door. And then, yeah, there's a lot more room to continue upgrading. Yeah, the biggest thing is honestly get the supply hub out the door. If we can do that, that would be huge. We can no longer do the reorganize the railways thing. That sometimes lets you build things a lot faster. Would have liked that, but oh well. Are you guys still not done training up your troops? Gosh dang. All right, we're gonna stop training. No one's green anymore, and I need to stop wasting equipment. They should be all right. Denmark's gone. Really not that surprising. Still got a ways to go before the Soviets are gonna attack. About the beginning of 1940 still kind of makes sense. I just realized I'm over my time. I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.